Hey Hebrew fans, this is Todd, and it's kind of funny is today we're gonna open up a She-Ra and Swiftwind 2-pack from the Mattel website, and it comes in this giant box here, and it says it's the 40th anniversary. But before we do, we're gonna talk a little bit about She-Ra and some of the stuff from the past. Mostly focusing on origins and classics. I'm not going to jump into Masterverse or the original toys. Maybe a little bit original toys, but not a lot. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the She-Ra stuff from classics. And here is my classic Swiftwind that we will compare with the new Swiftwind. As well as I have this crystal Swiftwind from the original toy line that we'll take a look at for size comparison too. So it's kind of funny is when this Swiftwind came out, we already had a She-Ra, and here she is right here, the She-Ra we got in the box, which she looks like. She also came with a 2-pack with Supergirl as well. But the problem is they made a mistake. When they made this She-Ra, they made it so that her legs couldn't open up because her skirt is so tight and hard plasticky rubber, so you couldn't open her legs to have her sit on her steed. And so they eventually gave us another She-Ra. Let's see if I can find her. I got a whole pile of She-Ras here. Here she is. And this is the Bubble Power She-Ra. Bubble Power She-Ra! And they gave her slits on the side so you could actually spread her legs in order to ride the beast. Now the problem is this is Bubble Power She-Ra, not regular She-Ra. So if you wanted to make a regular looking She-Ra ride the pony, you had to do some modifications. So that's where you get into making something like this. And this is my go-to She-Ra, and you can see she has the slits, and she has the regular cuffs and the regular boots, not the fancy boots and not the fancy cuffs. So there you go. And of course I gave her regular She-Ra head and her regular She-Ra cape because this one was gold. So there you go. That's the story of how you get a She-Ra in order to ride your horse, is you had to get 2 She-Ras and combine them into one. By the power we become one She-Ra. And there we go. You have the She-Ra. Now it is notable is look at the white difference on their skirts and their clothing. Is the original She-Ra, they gave her a gray color, and they did that so that when light hit it, the whites could be white and the gray could be gray, even though it's supposed to all be white. And so fans complained saying, we want true white, we don't want this gray stuff that's supposed to be white. They did the same thing with a bunch of other figures too. Ones that had white gloves, they gave, oh man, her necklace is broken, look at that. Look at that. That's crazy. And this is the She-Ra from the 2-pack with Supergirl. So I could feel too, like the plastic's a lot stiffer on her than the other one. Anyway, and so they finally gave us the white one, which was the Bubble Power She-Ra. All right. Well, without further ado, let's go ahead and stick her. The only way you can tell the difference is, look, notice this gold is more gold and this one's more copper. So that's one way you can tell if you have the one from the 2-pack or the one from the just She-Ra by itself. She-Ra by itself, 2-pack. And see the copper color difference in her boots, in her arms, in her necklace here, and in her headdress up here. So if yours is more brownish bronze than you have the 2-pack She-Ra that came with Supergirl. If you have the more, little bit shinier, still bronzy, then you have the She-Ra from the single pack. And again, you can see the difference, more brown, less brown. They're really close though in color. It's hard to tell just grabbing one by itself and looking at it, but that's the way you can kind of spot it. All right, so now we have a She-Ra that can fit on her steed. You just, oh, her head keeps popping off. You just take and bend her up and stick her on there, and bada bing, bada boom, you got yourself a Swiftwind She-Ra that is like Awesome. Now, if you do ever score a Classics one, you have one, be careful with these wings. These wings are very easy to break, and each side is slightly different. One has a little pin in it, the other side is not. And if you try to shove the wing on the wrong side, it won't work. And then deep inside here, deep inside, you have these pieces that break really easy. When you go to put the wing in for the first time, use a hairdryer, heat it up really good, and then put the wing in, and it will stretch those out and not have them break on you. So this one's already been shaped pretty good, so it can come out in and out pretty easily. The other side is stuck a lot more, so I'm not going to rip it out. But I wanted to show you guys that, to be careful. And then one other thing too is the legs like to get pushed in, especially if it's being stored somewhere. And once these legs push in, the little pin inside there will snap on the knee, and then you have a broken Swiftwind. So to fix that problem before it happens is you use these pieces from the what is his name? Not Modulock, but the robot version of him. And these are extra pieces. You just put 3 of them together, and they make perfect spacing for the legs. Now, I probably could make something and 3D print it that I could probably sell to everybody. Who knows? Maybe I'll make that will hold the legs just the right spacing. But for right now, if you don't want to have your legs getting bent and eventually break, just doing that to hold them in place works really well. So when I take photos, I take them out, but when I'm storing them, I keep those in there on all the horses, and it works great. All right, I spent a long time talking about She-Ra, which is funny because as a kid, when I first saw the She-Ra cartoon, I was like, what the heck is this? We want He-Man, we don't want She-Ra. She-Ra's lame. And now I have all these She-Ra figures, the horse, everything else, and I actually love She-Ra. It's just funny how you get from one point to another. And so look at my plethora of She-Ra piled figures all over the place, from cool customs, the golden She-Ra, to of course the new origins as well. So I have a plethora of She-Ras, and I even have some still in the package, unopened She-Ras. And just look at all those. It's just ridiculous. And to think when I was a kid, I was complaining about He-Man's sister. What the heck is going on with that? All right. Well, without further ado, let's just go ahead and get this box open and find out what Mattel gave us and how she sits on the horse. So, we got this box here. And it's cool. They have this little silhouette so you can see what's in the box. When they first started giving us these boxes, they didn't do that and you couldn't tell what was in there, but now they do that, so it's really cool, so you can figure out what the heck is in the box before you open it. And it's got 2 pieces of tape here across the front. Let's just slice those right open, and let's get down to business and get this thing open. Let's get it open now. All right. Dun 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 dun. Well, we got this little thing. Certifies it's the 40th anniversary She-Ra. Ooh ah. You know, that'd be so cool to have a She-Ra actually in a black outfit. That would rock. I think I saw a custom done that one way that time. And that was pretty cool. Oh. Now, I did not plan on buying this. Oh, I almost killed Swiftwind over there. Swiftwind is hanging on for dear life over there. I'll save you, Swifty. Good thing Hordak was there to catch him. That's right, I keep forgetting Swiftwind is actually a boy. Okay, so here we go. Here is the Princess of Power Swiftwind 40th anniversary. Well, I guess it stays on. Let me put that back on. I'm opening it wrong. You're doing it all wrong. I killed another Swiftwind. You're doing it all wrong, man. Oh! Swiftwinds are falling everywhere. Now, there's this one guy used to be on Roast Google Dinner, and he was hilarious. I can't remember his name off the top of my head now, but he used to call Swiftwind Quick Fart, and that used to crack me up on the podcast because it's Swift and it's wind. It's a quick fart. There we go. Look at that. Let's look at the back of this box. It says, for the honor of Grayskull, celebrate the 40th anniversary of She-Ra, Princess of Power, with the Masters of the Universe Origins Cartoon Collection She-Ra and Swiftwind, featuring the iconic hero of Etheria and her noble steed as retro-style figures. Very cool. Very cool indeed. And it's supposed to be like this She-Ra here, and I can already tell by looking at her, she's already different than this one, which I'm a little surprised. Let's check it out and see what the differences are. Now I do have her. Nope, not there. Not there. Here we go. I do have one right here out of the box. I don't have all her accessories. We'll refer back to the accessories in the box here. But I can already see her shield is already different. It's got like a blue, it's like it's made out of clear blue material with silver on it. So that's interesting. That's cool. All right. Let's get back to opening this. So it looked like to me, you could just pull the bottom out and open it that way instead of destroying the box. So let's just do that. Let's pull this out. And this whole thing just slides right up over the top. What a great way to store it. Look at that. Look at it. It is amazing looking. Oh. No. You can see the sorceress in the background there. Oh, you can also see Crystal Castle. Now, again, I never watched a lot of the She-Ra cartoon, so I don't know a lot about the things about She-Ra, but all right. Oh, her sword is also made of blue plastic that's clear, so the center part will be clear in there too, but it's weird because the sword has kind of that clearish look too, as well as her hair, and her hair is more swept back like it's in motion. It's kind of rubbery. All right, let's just get her out of here. Let's see what's holding her in. We got a tie. It's not holding her in. We got a tie right there. Cut. These scissors are dull. Let's get this wing out of here. Cut. Oh, well, it didn't cut, but it pushed through. Any other strings anywhere? Oh, there's one on his foot right there. Hey, all right, that one came off pretty easy. There's one on this side too. All right, I think I got them all. Nope. One more on this foot here. All right. There's the horse. And it's like she's flying. It's Supergirl. They taped that cape in there. Stop with the tape, Mattel. worst part of this tape is, you know, in 15 years, this is going to destroy whatever's in the box. So if you wanted to keep one mint in the box, that tape's just going to ruin that cape. Whew, got it out of there. They got her arm all contorted. What do we have going on here with this arm? Something is definitely not right. I don't know what the heck they have going on there. I don't know if it's designed that way or what, but one arm is like all cattywampus. Maybe it's so she can hang on to her sword and have it held aloft or something. That's probably what it is. You can see, though, they got some really weird shoulder thing going on here. Did her arm get bent in the package? Or is that by design? I only have one, so I can't pull out another one and see, but I'm going to have to look online later on and check out other people's reviews to see if their arms are bent that same strange way. I don't know if you can see that in the camera or not, but see, look at her arm, how it's just kind of contorted weird. That can't be right. All right, let's go ahead and get her sword out of there so we can get it out without bending it. Hooray! All right, so Swiftwind has a whole lot of articulation. Oh. There we go. And it's got the saddle. It's removable, it looks like. Now, I thought this piece would be removable, but it's actually, I guess it is removable. It's under this. Okay, so you pull this off. Then you can pull this off. And then you can remove this and have just a white horse. Does this come off too? Yep, that comes off as well. Oh, look at that. They got the spirit underneath there. Now does Spirit's head come off? No. So you have to work this up through the hair to get it off. Not impossible, just a little bit of a pain. There you go. There is Spirit. Now, if I remember right, did we ever see She-Ra ride Spirit? Now, of course, these legs are backwards, so let's just do a little twist. There we go. And this side's already going the right direction. Okay. So horse's legs bend this way and that way. So we will get it. There we go. There we go. One leg was right, one was backwards. Okay. Cool, cool. So let's talk about articulation. This is a lot of articulation. This is really cool how much articulation they gave this horse. So the front leg moves here. It has an articulation point here and then one down here for lots and lots of articulation. The back legs click. And then articulation point here. Articulation point here. So that's cool. And then of course the tail moves, which is great. The head moves up and down a lot. That is a lot of motion for that head. And then the head above moves too. And they got a nice little slot in there to feed the hair. So it has a nice articulation. The mouth is not open. That's okay. Very cool. And this goes back on. Much easier to put on than it is to take off. It's got some little hooks there for her feet. Then to cinch it all in place, you got this. And it has a little rectangle piece to hold it all together. And you just buckle it on the bottom. So, if they make an Adora, which hopefully they will, I think there's one coming. I think I've seen one. I don't remember. I know there's an Adora coming for Masterverse for sure. But if they made an Adora, then you want to get two of these. One to be your Swiftwind, so you're not sitting there transforming it all the time back and forth, and one to be your Spirit. All right, there we go. And the wings. Going to use small little pockets right here. Now these wings are pretty cool. I mean, they have a bend in the middle, and you can see the articulation point here. So this one would go on the far side, but this here, oh, it just feels like it's going to break if you're not careful. I'm afraid to put that all the way in. It is going to get stuck. I'll probably have to heat that up first before I put them in. And then this side, same thing. And it's so cool with that secondary articulation point. Alright, I'm going to heat these up. I'll be right back. I use my heat gun to do it, and then we'll shove them on in there. Alright, I'm back. I decided just to go ahead and do it here so you guys can watch how I do it. So let's just go ahead and turn this heat gun on. And then I'll let it get nice and warm. That's pretty warm now. And let's just heat these right up. Let's see if that's hot enough. That's a little more pliable. And then let's make sure I got the right wing on the right side, because once these are in, they're probably not going to come off very easy. There we go. Snap. It's in. Now for the other side. You could do this with the hair dryer too. Whew, hot, hot, hot. Some like it hot, hot, hot. This side's even more flexible than the other side. Let's just go ahead and pop that right in there. There we go. Ta-da! I'm going to let it cool a little bit so I don't end up ripping them out. And I'm going to go take the heat gun and put it back away. Alright, I am back. You know what? You know what? Where is my grass? There it is. Oh. Whew, this is really wrinkled. we're gonna do this shot right, we gotta get the grass coming all the way out of the screen, right? There we go. Alright, they haven't cooled yet, but while this is cooling, let's go ahead and take a look at that She-Ra. Okay, so here is the new She-Ra. The New Adventures of She-Ra. Well, it's not quite that far, but anyway. And she has a cloth cape. Oh, she keeps falling apart there. Let me see how this fits without her skirt. Okay. It is a little looser than most of the figures. Let's get that skirt on. Let's shove it down all the way around. That's why it keeps coming up. Come on, get on there. I got her shield and sword under the grass. There we go. And now let's take that rubber band off of here. And let's get her sword in her hand. This is really flexible material, but be very careful. This is going to be bad quick. It could be. I'm going to raise it up and then put her shield in her other hand. Dun da da, dun da 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 da. There we go. And now let's compare her to the last release. So here are our two She-Ras. Here's the one we got just recently. Yeah, I'm guessing there's something wrong with that arm. I'll probably have to heat it up with hot water and see if it straightens out. But anyway, first off, her hair is different. Check it out. Her hair is flowing and golden, like it's actually in the wind. I'm surprised they gave it that golden clear look. It's kind of strange. Her coloring is just about the same. Not much difference. The one we got in the box also has the split, so she can ride the horse. And this one has the split too. The one we got before that, no need for a split, because she has, let me put her ring thing back on. She has just an open leg area, because her skirt's that cloth material. And she had a cloth cape too. So they went to rubber for a little bit and back to cloth for this one. All right, let's go ahead and get her on that horse. Okay. And let's just set her up there. And then her legs should go into the stirrups here. 1. 2. Now the stirrups do help keep her on the horse. You can feel that. So that is cool. They have those. And there you go. That's pretty cool. All right. But it is time to open up this figure here, because I am going to steal the correct fixed arm on here. So let's just rip her open. Open, open. Now, I did originally buy this for one of my granddaughters for Christmas, but I have found out since then she is done with the figures. So it's like, oh man, she's gotten too old. She's aged out. She's decided that she no longer wants He-Man figures or She-Ra figures. Now, yes, I could go to the trouble of contacting Mattel and saying, look, I got a bogus figure. It's got a messed up arm. But I already know what the response would be. The response would be mail it back. And I'd probably have to buy another one. And I'll probably get my money back for it. And I don't want to go through all that hassle. So I'm just going to take and just swap out some parts here. First of all, I noticed that this waist keeps breaking over and over again. And this one's much tighter. This one just keeps coming apart. So I'm actually going to take and use this whole entire body. Just pop off the head. Maybe. There we go. And just give her the cool new head and cape. If I can get it off. There we go. Is there anything else that's different? The gold is slightly different, but not enough to make that big of a difference. And then give her the new cool blue sword and the new cool blue shield. Oh, the hand's different. Oh, the hand's just mangled. Look at that. Look at it. I thought the hand was different, but it's just mangled. See, the fingers are all mangled on this hand. This is the one I just got in the box a few minutes ago. And look at the hand, how it's mangled compared to the one I just opened. Okay, let me hold them both up together. The one on top is the one I just opened. The one on the bottom came out of the 2-pack. And you can just see the fingers are just mangled. So I'm glad I did the body swap. I don't even know why they included another She-Ra. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I suppose you'd need them both, but if we already all just bought them. But that's okay. Alright, let's go ahead and seat her on her horse, of course. Put him in the stirrups. Come on, you can do it, She-Ra. There we go. Cape out. Sword up. Huh, 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 huh. Shield out. You don't need a shield. Forget the shield. And in the cartoon, it was sword to shield anyway. You never had both at the same time. So, I keep bumping that microphone with my arm. Sorry, you guys. Alright. There she is. Very cool. Magnificent. And what's cool too are these wings. Now, this is not the best way to keep these on here. You can see the whole armor wants to fold, but you're not going to be moving these wings a lot anyway. But it's nice they have that secondary articulation point right here. So that's pretty handy. There she is, flying away on a cloud. All right. Let's see which face looks better. Oop. They are pretty comparable, so I'm going to take the better head of the two and stick it on this one. Oh well. Alright, let's go ahead and try this She-Ra here. This one right here is half customized. It has the shield from Super 7. It's got my own custom made sword, so it has a blue crystal. It's actually see-through. See if you can see through it or not. Ooh, and then She has a custom headdress that I bought on eBay, and this is a replacement piece for the original one. So she's really cool. Here's how she came originally, and here is my customized one. Anyway, let's go ahead and see how she fits on there. Alright. And I have to do a comparison of the old and the new. So her legs seem like it's a little bit shorter. I can't quite tell. Nope, you just got to shove her deeper in the saddle. There you go. That looks really cool. Oh man, I'm sorry. I pushed the button and you guys can't see. I am digging that. That is probably going to go on my shelf just like that with this She-Ra. Oh yeah. My custom sword, the Super 7 shield. I might switch this shield out. I don't know. Very cool. Alright, so here is the horse from the 80s. Here is the piece that goes on top. And size comparison. I gotta move this wing. There we go. You can see that the new horse is quite a bit bigger. And of course it's articulated. The one from the 80s had no articulation whatsoever. It was just a solid statue of a horse. And the wings would just go into like buckles on the side of the saddle. So much better build, much better construction. I like that it's white instead of pink. Way cool. All right, let's compare it to our classics. I'll just fold this wing up on that side. Now, the classics, as you know, is my favorite over almost everything. But a couple things I do not like about the classics, when you pull this off, there's no spirit piece. I've seen people make cool custom pieces to fit on there. And then this does not come off. You're stuck with that, so you can't pull that off to make spirit without causing damage. The wings are hard to remove. When you do pull them off, it leaves a hole in the side of the horse. So if you want to turn this into spirit, it's quite the task, and a lot of customization has to go into making the horse into spirit. The wings don't have a cool little piece in the middle to fold them in extra. I don't know if it's needed or not. I probably won't use that articulation point hardly at all. These do have a nice solid flap though when it comes to the flap. And there are no stirrups on this horse here. I believe Arrow does have stirrups, but not Swiftwind. And articulation. That's crazy. There's actually better articulation on this than there is on this. This one, articulation comes from the middle part of the leg here instead of being up high, which makes for a nice sculpt. You can see the veins and stuff. But as far as articulation points go, it actually has one less because of the way they designed it. But still, I do like the classics a lot, don't get me wrong, but I am favoring the new one just because of all of the quick interchangeability to turn it back into spirit and the articulation points, and it's very toy-like. Now, as far as it goes from the figures, of course we have these cool classics figures, but we also have, where'd she go? Ugh. Now I can't find her. I know she's in this pile somewhere. Here she is. We also have a Filmation version in classics. So let's compare this Filmation classic She-Ra to the one we just got a minute ago in the 2-pack with the horse. So first of all, they do look very similar. the colors do pop better on this figure than on this one. The gray skin on here just looks kind of weird. This skin is a much healthier looking skin. So even though I usually favor classics, the Super 7 Classics version, it just doesn't work super well with the coloring. And I also have never liked the gold the Super 7 used. It's more of a brown, where I do like the gold they used on this one. So even though I usually favor classics, I actually do like this Origins one better again. For the coloring, the gold is actually shiny, and I like the blue they did with the shield and the sword. That's so cool because again, it gives that sword that bluish kind of see-through look. Not quite as see-through as mine was, but still there is some see-throughness to it. Now, of course, the tip's blue, which is kind of weird, but you could paint that silver if you wanted to. But I do really like the way this She-Ra came out. Of course, I'm looking at the wrong one. I should be looking at this one, but you guys get the idea. So again, Origins knocked it out of the park this time with both the She-Ra and the Swiftwind horse. One negative thing about the Swiftwind horse is the way the wings are attached. It does mess with your articulation. Eventually you can figure it out, so you can actually get it to work pretty good. So mine's working now pretty good. It's weird articulation because it doesn't quite line up right because their legs in the way, but once you figure it out, it works pretty good. So you can raise the wings up, fold them back, which is really cool. Yeah, that folding back is a really cool feature. I actually do like that a lot. And you can't put them down to the side right. They have to go, oh, wait, you can do that. So you can't put them all the way down to the side, but you can orientate them in such a way that you can get them pretty good in there. All right, so again, the new She-Ra Swiftwind for the win. It's definitely better than the classics when it comes to design and the way they made it versatile. So it could be Swiftwind or Spirit. So that is really cool. All right, Mattel, excellent job. Let's see if I've covered everything. I'm looking at my desk here. You know what I didn't cover? One last thing. I did not cover the Swiftwind, the She-Ra in this box here. This was the special edition version we got with the rooted hair. And she has some really cool looking eyes on this one too. But she does have the old knobby knees. This is the 35th edition. But she is pretty cool. But again, she's not made to look like Filmation. She is to look like the original She-Ra we got from the 80s. But there we go. I think I've covered the full gambit. I think I've She-Ra'd out. All right. Well, with that, like they say in the 1987 movie, let's get He-Man out here. Whoop. Good journey. You know, I want to say that better. Good journey. Bye now.
If you found enjoyment, like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Do it.